South Africa joined the global quantum community with our own national strategy for quantum technology. We call it the South African Quantum Technology Initiative, or SA QuTI for short, and its aim is essentially to bring South Africa into a quantum future. Quantum mechanics has been around for 100 years, and the theory has been well tested. In fact, the theory has given rise to technologies that we use every single day.
Quantum is the world of the small things that we can't touch and feel. The microscopic world we can't really see with the naked eye. Yeah? It's the world of atoms, electrons, light particles, the photons.
WITS is coordinating the National Quantum Program, and one of the objectives is to grow critical mass at all the nodes around the country. But we have 5 quantum nodes. They sit here at WITS, at the University of Stellenbosch, at Cape Peninsula University of Technology, at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, and at the University of Zululand. Here at the WITS node, we have 3 focus areas. We're looking at quantum imaging, quantum communication, and quantum computing.
I'm a lecturer here at the School of Physics, and in parallel to that, I'm also the WITS IBM liaison, where I'm driving efforts to build a community in quantum computing in the university. The work that WITS-Q is mainly focusing on at the university is to build a community of quantum computing researchers. So people across diverse fields, ranging from health, chemistry, material sciences, and in climate, that is being focused on building quantum computers that can process large amounts of data and perform high-capacity computing.
So the project that I'm working on at the moment is Button Optics. It's a spin-out company from the Structured Light Group, where we are trying to take the applied physics and applied research over the last 10 years and make products that can be useful outside of the research area, and then eventually also touch the lives of normal people in the world. So applications include microscopy and pharmacological tests, also material science, and eventually there's some medical applications, specifically with eye care.
Our ultimate goal for the Structured Light Lab and Reactor is to build and commercialize a quantum microscope. We want to look at the impact we can make medically, chemically, biologically, and to just advance the role we play in diagnostics.
The quantum research here at WITS, I would say, is on a par with the best in the world. We are routinely publishing in the top journals. We're routinely winning prizes or being in the front covers of journals. We would be regarded as one of the leaders in the field that we're looking at, which is how do you handle quantum states using light, and in particular, structured light or patterns of light as a resource.
The quantum node at Stellenbosch University has these 3 focuses mainly: quantum computing, quantum sensing, quantum metrology, and quantum communication. The new quantum mechanics is based about crazy things like entanglement. So that means that we have now tools, for instance, in quantum computing, to develop algorithms that use these crazy things that can allow us to perform calculations much better, much faster, and probably, hopefully, even more accurately.
If we think of quantum communication, it is one of the pillars of the quantum technology roadmap. South Africa wants to develop a quantum network, then we would have to rely on developing quantum communication. And quantum communication is implemented through fiber as well as free space. And you probably heard that the global chase is towards developing a quantum internet. Now, this network will not replace the classical internet. However, it will enhance some of the possibilities that is provided through this network. So, for example, encryption will have a safer way of encrypting information. So that means if you're transmitting your banking details or your medical data, it's enhancing that security of that information that is being transmitted.
So quantum mechanics gives you an advantage there in terms of the number of times you have to probe a system In our case, we're looking at biological systems, so biosystems, and that has implications in, say, drug development and drug design.
Every 1 minute, a cat in Africa dies of malaria. The present conventional diagnosis of malaria have some problem. They are expensive in some cases, but also they are very technical. They require technical personnel to run. And we come now to bridge the gap, like using light to detect very small quantity of malaria antigens in blood. That's what basically we do. And this will help most of the money sent to Africa, example for malaria surveillance or even for malaria protections. And this will decrease burdens to developing country, because early detections would save life.
Also, South Africa has sort of historical strengths in things like the mining sector, in the defense sector, and also to some extent in healthcare as well. So I think we'd very much like to leverage that knowledge that's in the country, as well as our kind of expertise in quantum, to take what we're doing further.
We have lots of success stories. Yeah? Matthew Lawrence is a PhD student in my group, and he developed an open source solution in the generic area of quantum machine learning that got supported by a fund called the Unitary Fund that specializes in supporting open source projects, mainly in the area of quantum computing.
Our team here at SA QuTI consists of myself, which is the group leader, and I've got 3 doctoral students and 1 master's student and about 4 interns. Our goal and the science that we are looking at here is to try and understand a little bit more deeper what are the properties of the atoms under very cold conditions, and that we're actually developing tools to help us with that. But those tools that we're developing, we're wanting to actually commercialize them. Like, for example, building our own lasers, building our own photodetectors. In cold atoms, we work with lasers. So in order to line up a laser beam, you're going to need a photodetector. So the photodetectors that we use, we've developed our own. Our first products we're making. The other product that we're developing is our own lasers that we're using to do our experiments, and that's our next item we want to commercialize. So two major items. There's one further item where we develop an electronic unit to characterize entangled photons, which is a unit that we want to commercialize as well.
I'm involved with the ESCOM Expo every year, where they take scholars and they give them a research project. So the idea came up that if I can show these students what quantum technology is before they choose their subjects, and then secondly, in grade 12, I can maybe motivate a few students to come and study quantum technologies.
A major success that we had was actually quite a few years ago, when we actually managed to get cold atoms here, and I think we were one of the few places in Africa that we actually managed to do it. The other people that had cold atoms, but that was only for a short period, and that experiment is not active anymore. So that is our major milestones that we've met, is actually to get the cold atoms. And what you see here in the background is our experiment that we have actually put up to actually get the cold atoms.
A very nice environment in South Africa to work, because people are very helpful and very social, and we help each other. And there are many people with different abilities. So we do quantum computing, then we do quantum communication, and we do quantum verification and validation. You see here behind me, we have built up a quantum cryptography system, okay, that allows us to communicate securely between 2 points, safe against eavesdropping, and we are nearly ready with it. I guess that we will have the system running end of this year, and that is approximately technology readiness level 4. The basic vision that we have with the center is we want to produce quantum code that helps people to solve complex problems that cannot be solved otherwise. and we want to build quantum devices that can be used. For example, this QKD can be used by the banking sectors, another agency that need confidentiality. So our main purpose is to actually educate young people, help to build an ecosystem that is based on these new quantum technologies, advise industries what to do with it, and grow the economy.
The problems which South Africa is facing is the food security. And one of the problems of the growing sustainable food is knowing what will be the weather tomorrow and what will be the weather for the season and generic, problems of the climate modeling. But the problem is that these equations are very difficult to solve. One can develop quantum algorithms which are going to solve these so-called nonlinear partial differential equations, essentially very complicated equations. And the quantum computers can do it in the proper way, on the larger scale and with the better precision.
I arrived at University of Zululand in 2000, so I've had experience for over 25 years working on making quantum dots. The quantum dots is a semiconducting material which has unique properties at the quantum level, which makes them useful in applications in bioimaging, in displays, and in solar cells as well. So in the old technology, you would use a dye or organic material that would give you light, whereas in the new technology, the quantum dots, you would get a better quality of light and a better quality of color emitted from the material. So the smaller your quantum dots, the better quality emission you get from the material. You get a higher quantum yield and a longer emission of light. And this is useful for displays, in particular TVs, monitors for gaming. I think the biggest success story, in recent time, has been the acquirement of the electron microscope, the high resolution electron microscope. It's only the second in Africa. The first being at the University of Free State. We have graduated 30 PhD students in this field of quantum science or nanoscience. We've published more than 200 papers in the area, and we've had both a national and international visibility within the field of nanoscience.
Quantum is the next economy, projected to be very large. We don't have any Silicon Valley in South Africa, but we could have a quantum valley, and that's what SA QuTI hopes to achieve. Ultimately, what we want to see is a quantum workforce. We want to train students to join a quantum economy. And for that to happen, we either have to create quantum businesses, or we must get traditional businesses to adopt quantum. So we're pushing both avenues.
The initiative itself has given us this new avenue to explore, and also to meet new collaborators within the field.
So, for example, we have collaborators from South Korea, and from there is also a collaboration on the startup level, which is dealing with the so-called quantum simulations in quantum chemistry, which is also one of the applications of the quantum computing.
I've started a spin-out company called QSTEL, which we hope will be a kind of, I guess, an umbrella company for a lot of the prototypes and devices that we ultimately can then sell on the market to security companies and biotech companies and so on, depending on the application.
I would like to see more young Africans getting into quantum research. Not just quantum computation and photonics, but many other fields that quantum research might open up in future. The next stage will be, how does this benefit Africa in terms of developing our economy and also creating jobs for people?
We're very excited for the future. I think SA QuTI has already made its mark over the last couple of years. Next year, 2025, is mooted to be the International Year of Quantum Science and Technology. What that means is really the quantum theme and its interest worldwide is simply going to increase. And so it's very good that South Africa is part of that. In fact, we're a co-sponsor of that. SA QuTI is going to help grow quantum faster. We're hoping to begin to see the first quantum industries really emerge in South Africa. We really want to show the people of South Africa that we can give a good return on their investment. And so watch what we do in the future. We hope to make our impact.